Hello and welcome to a demonstration of how to add additional floating licenses to an existing license file and license manager on the server. Now we're going to use the Mentor license utility, and the reason is it contains automation that enables you to complete the upgrade process in just a few clicks. And so here we start out having just downloaded the install program for the license utility. So we'll go ahead and we'll double click on that, and we're going to take all the default locations. So for the install, we're going to load to C Mentor Graphics. This does create a Mentor license utility subfolder where it places all the files and executables and so forth. So we'll go ahead and click OK, and this essentially unpacks all the files and automatically launches the utility. Now if you think you may already have the license utility installed, you can check down in the Start menu down under All Programs, Mentor Graphics License Utility, and there is the shortcut, Mentor License Utility. So back to the main interface of the license utility, we're going to go into our MGLS license file system variable, because I know I have a pointer to the license server there. And I'm actually on the license server machine right now. And I'm going to double click on the port at host reference, and I'm going to check what licenses are currently running on my server here. I have a PWR shell and I have a BLZ shell license. And so I have a couple of additional features, licenses, that I'd like to add to this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the license file, the new license file. I have it here on the desktop, site 2811.txt, and scroll down, and here I have a pads ES_C and a pads LS_C. So I want to get those added to my existing license file and configuration. So what you want to run is actually the install license button that is down in the lower right hand corner, and the procedure is the same as installing a first time configuration, except we'll get some slightly different prompts during the process. So we'll go ahead and click that button, and we're going to take the first option to install a node-locked or floating license file to this machine. So we have a floating license that we wish to install. Go ahead and click Next. And here it wants us to browse to the license file. And as you noticed earlier, I have the license file on my desktop, site 2811. So I'll go ahead and click Open. And at this point, it's installing the licenses, and we should get a pop-up, here we go, that the service already exists. An MGCLD License Manager service already exists. Click Append to add licenses to the existing service. So this is what happens when it already knows about the service, it already knows where the license file is, and it just wants to add some new licenses to it. So let's go ahead and click Append. At this point, it's added the new licenses, and it's doing what's called an LM reread. It's telling the FlexNet software to reread that license file, essentially installing those new licenses. And so it looks like it has completed, and it shows us the path to our existing license file. And so let's take a look at the license file now. And you can see we had the PowerShell and the BLZ shell licenses. But now we scroll down, and we also have the pads ES_C and the pads LS_C. And you'll notice we have pound signs or hash characters in front of the server and daemon lines. And this is because you can only have one server and daemon line in a license file. So they're added to the license file, but they are commented out with the pound or hash character. So let's go ahead and close that and view the log file. We can take a look to see. Down here you'll see it rereads the license file, and it shows us all the license features that are installed, which are the 4 ones I mentioned earlier. And so with that, it completes the upgrade process, and we can double click on the port at host in the utility too if we'd like to double check, and there we have it, the PowerShell, the BLZ shell, the pads ES_C, and the pads LS_C. And looks like everything is up and running. Thank you for your time.